Hello, I'm the official narrator. My job is to look through the first page of Google, review the nicknames provided by the internet, and then give my recommendations at the end. Today we're looking over Tauros, and just Tauros. Okay, so I remember seeing Longhorn before, but I'm pretty sure either my mind is just twisted and I jumped to this conclusion, or they explained it as Longhorn Steakhouse, which I remember thinking was really funny. Maybe somebody also said Outback, which is why when I saw Longhorn I thought it was funny. So I'm okay with the idea of Longhorn as a nickname. I mostly just kind of am twisted and think of the idea of turning Tauros into a steak, but I know that's not what he was going for, so I guess either there's something wrong with me or it could be viewed in multiple ways. Moo would be a better idea for Miltank because there's a Miltank in Pokemon Johto, Pokemon Gold Silver Crystal, straight up named Moo, so it fits Miltank and not Tauros at all. And then the rest of them I don't really care for at all. Raging is terrible, and then these two are just meh. Alright, I guess, I don't know, I feel obligated to explain bullshit just because I remember during Primeape, ape shit was a thing, and bullshit like ape shit, lots of shit here, is a real thing that people say, so I get it, I just don't feel like it works as well. Ape shit at least implies going crazy, which is kind of a personality trait of Primeape, as to where bullshit is just kind of the word, and it's a bull, and that's about where it ends. So do I think it's as good? Not really, but I'm gonna acknowledge it just for the sake of acknowledging it, and that's about it. I also don't think Matador is very interesting either, but I'm going to acknowledge it because I imagine I'm going to see it 12 billion times. Red Bull, it's right there back to back. I don't really care. I don't think it's interesting, but it's something the internet came up with, so if it appeals to you, go crazy. It might be better if he was actually red. Or if his shiny version was red, but instead it's green. Is that what that film is based off of? That has John Cena as the bull? I've never seen it. It's Ferdinand? Yeah, Ferdinand. I haven't watched a film in a while, let alone a children's film. Bullseye, I don't necessarily... wait a minute. I just started thinking of Bullseye from Toy Story, and I kind of hate that, that was a better name idea for someone like Mudsdale than it is Tauros, because I get the Bullseye it's a bull joke and it's not the worst name in the world, but I kind of got excited just thinking about how much more it resembles Mudsdale and how much better of a name it is for Mudsdale. I'm gonna write that one down, but I guess if Bullseye appeals to you for Tauros, there you go. Okay. Firstly, we gotta acknowledge that we're in the cesspool of the internet, Hayden Official on Twitter. Congratulations, you've reached the bottom of the barrel. Let's see what sort of crap there is, and the first thing I do see is medium rare. Like I said, with Longhorn, I think maybe somebody in this thread does say Longhorn, and maybe that's where I got the idea from or something. But, any sort of steak joke is kind of what I'm expecting for Tauros, especially in here, because the first thing is Clitoros. I hate him. I hate his fans. I'm not ashamed of saying this. This is the reason we can't have world peace, is because you're always going to find somebody out there that just makes you mad even though they're not technically doing anything wrong. I just don't like this guy. Bullwinkle I'm going to acknowledge just for being something different. I think that's a terrible name just in general, but I get where it's coming from, so it's if you don't hate the name Bullwinkle, there you go. I just hate it, and I've always hated it. Other words, scrolling through this, I've seen several thousand steak jokes tri-tip, bulgogi, medium rare, steakhouse, blah blah blah. So I'm skipping all of that, but just know that if you need a steak joke, they have you covered. Okay, so I can see, I think, where mine is, but I like this because it says Steak and Shake, and they spelled it wrong. They spelled it like a steak that you put into a vampire's heart. And then you see it correctly spelled down here. So I like that. That's funny. That just made me laugh. I do remember seeing Arby's, but someone put it as Ruby reference, and I was like, I don't know what that is. I know the name of it, and that's it. But Arby's is a restaurant that you eat at that serves beef. Like, so Arby's I have on my spreadsheet, my list for today. I have like Arby's and Longhorn because those are like the only two really that I like as far as food jokes. The rest, it's just like, if you want to, you can, but I feel like it's been beaten into my head enough. We get it. You can turn them into food. Everything else on here isn't funny. Steak and Shake, I don't mind. I don't care. Do I think it's good? Not really. But I think it's funnier just because this idiot spelled it wrong. Okay, so I want to go ahead and correct you. That's not the way Olay is spelled. That's the little, what is it, moisturizer, shampoo, body wash, something like that. So that's wrong. But Tatanka isn't the worst. I personally think of the wrestler. But, like, I don't know if that was the intent or if it has some extra meaning behind it, but it's an okay name that I at least feel worth acknowledging because I've never seen it before, and yeah. Okay, so we're at the bottom. I know how to nickname Pokemon. You find a name rater. But with Tauros, I mean, I knew there was little to expect, and I had low expectations coming in. But, it's whatever. Spreadsheet. Yeah, there's not really anything interesting on here, so we're gonna go ahead and close that. The only things that I do feel were at least halfway decent were just kind of Arby's and Longhorn, and that's it, because the rest is just steak jokes, and, like, it's very, very on the nose. When I first started, I don't know why in the hell I thought of this, but I remember one of the first Taurus nicknames I came up with was Taproot. That has nothing to do with Tauros, even in the slightest bit. I just named it after a random band because I was like, I don't know what to name it. And I went with that for a long time. A very long time. But I started thinking about the demons from Jackie Chan and how it would be cool to name Pokemon after them. And the one that represents the bull is Daigui, the earth demon. Now, the thing about this that bothers me is I feel like I want there to be a more representative Pokemon for this, but there isn't. So if they ever do make a proper bull Pokemon that's like a ground type, done, I'm switching it. But for the moment, I can't hold my breath and guarantee that they'll do that, so I'm just going to sit on Tauros, and just let him use Daigui, because I think that's the best way of doing it. But that's it. It's like, I like it and I think it's fine. I just kind of wish it was more representative of Jackie Chan, so this way it could fit better. And yeah. But other words, I think that's a very, very obscure one that no one's gonna get, because no one's gonna remember like the names of hardly any of the demons in Jackie Chan. But that's what I personally use these days. And that's it. There's not really too many recommendations. If you can find something, I'd like to hear it, because again, there's not really anything. Longhorn and Arby's and steak jokes is about the extent of it, and those three things are all the same. So we need something. We're desperate. Provide your ideas in the comments below, and I don't know what I will do. I'll go rate other nicknames.